Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 24 with Mugello coming up this weekend. I thought it'd be fun to take a MotoGP rider and challenge the 120% AI here in Mugello. Let's see how this one goes down. So today we're going to be using Marc Marquez, and I've decided to keep things relatively interesting. We're going to be starting from 13th place, a position that Marquez is getting quite used to as of recent times, and let's see if we can do what he's been doing, but one better. Not just finish on the podium, but let's try and go for the win as well. We'll see how it goes, but I'm not entirely sure how well this is going to go down, so we'll see what we can do. But I must confess, already it's a very Marquez start, battering through as many riders as we can here, all the way up to 10th place, now up to 9th, now up to 8th. This is a superb Marc Marquez launch from the line. Can we go around the outside of brother Alex? That would be something special. Now, I wasn't really particularly sure on doing a predictions video today. Just wanted to really have a go and see what happens if I were to qualify as low down as Marquez has been doing, and see if I get onto the podium with the 8 times world champion. And I've got to say, I do suspect there's some big things that are going to happen this weekend in Mugello. I don't think there's going to be any signings or anything like that. I don't think we're privileged to have that discussion come to a conclusion yet. But I do feel there's going to be some drama. Either something like Marc Marquez will win here in Mugello, maybe an Enea Bastianini will win, or something will go wrong with Martin and Bagnaia. There's something that's going on in my head at the minute that says I have no idea what is going to happen here in Mugello. So for this video today, I just thought, you know what? Let me do my best Marc Marquez impression. Let me start from low down, and let's see if we can win here in the Tuscan hills of Mugello. And I must confess, this has been a cracking start so far, but I've lost a bit of time to brother Alex, so I need to try and catch up to Alex Marquez, the man who started 3rd place from last season on board that Gresini Ducati. And I just got my first track limit warning. Got into a bit of a bad habit recently with making little mistakes, touching the outside of the circuits, cutting corners. Really got to try and fix that for my career mode, and of course for other racing as well. But we do get through on Alex Marquez. One thing I will say is I am expecting a good weekend for Alex Marquez. I don't know why Alex is popping into my head, but before I start this video I was very tempted to use Alex Marquez, but made sense to go with everyone's favourite, Marc Marquez, in the end. So you know what? I do really think that Alex is going to have a great weekend. I could be absolutely wrong, because last season it looked like he was going to have a great weekend. Qualified on the front row, crashed in the sprint, and I think he crashed in the race as well. But look at this. Can Marquez get through on Marco Bezzecchi? Can. Not the cleanest overtake I've ever done, but the nature of that corner going into Casanova Savelli, I think that is a good enough overtake, especially considering the AI don't tend to shift out of your way when you do go for quite the lunge. Now, apart from Maverick Vinales and Pedro Acosta, there's nothing but Ducatis in the top 8 here, so only one Austrian motorcycle and the rest being Italian are all having a cracking Mugello race here today as we go into Corantaio ahead of the Ducati grandstand. Will Marc Marquez be donning the red of the factory colours next season, or will it be Jorge Martin? That conversation is going to go down for quite a while yet, isn't it, until pen has reached paper for one of the Spaniards. Would really like to see an Enea Bastianini just pop in this weekend and have a belting race. Really would. It'd just add to the drama and the excitement. It would be absolutely marvellous. So I've lost a bit of time here to Pedro. Across the line. Oh, we are the fastest man on track though. 1:44.953 for the 8 times world champion. Was on a cracking run of sprint podiums and podiums at the minute. Here's Marc Marquez. Can we catch up to the Ducati trio at the front? Maverick Vinales in 4th there. Is he getting held up? Or is he holding up Pedro Acosta a little bit? Of course, Acosta on that gas looks absolutely brilliant in the terms of straight line speed. He was rapid in Catalunya. I'm really keen to see what speeds they can reach this weekend here in Mugello. Very excited to see what he can do. Of course, a very good record here as well in Mugello for Pedro Acosta, so I wouldn't mind betting he'll finish on the podium in either the sprint or the race. Could be wrong, but you never know, of course. So this is all just my initial opinions from midway through the week. I'm sure we'll find out what's going to happen in the practice. Probably by the time I upload this video, will either be the Friday or Saturday. I think it'll be Saturday, because Friday I want to do the guide for Le Mans, so that's probably already released. I do hope you enjoy the guides, and of course, if you need any assistance regarding MotoGP 24, let me know in the comment section down below. Always happy to help. Wow, they were really tight to the apex there for Corinthians, weren't they? Both Maverick and Acosta just kissing the apex as we dive into Biandetti 1, then into Biandetti 2. Do I use the ride height device here? I don't think we really need it, but I kind of like using it now because I neglected it so much in MotoGP 23 that now that it's decent, I just want to use it all the time, just because it's a button to press and I do like pressing buttons, so why not let it fly and use the ride height device. But I tell you what, with this slipstream, we might improve the lap time here, and we certainly did. Back-to-back laps of a 44.9. Sprinter Acosta, what's he doing? Oh my god, he got caught on the curb there. What was he doing? Well, he's ran it deep, but we'll go through. What was that? He was so slow on the straight there that I thought we were going to take him out. That would have been catastrophic. Marquez crashed there in 2013, if I'm not mistaken. And he battered all his chin and his face and everything. Looked a right mess. And of course, Michele Pirro's crash there as well was absolutely awful. So yeah, I don't want to make contact with a rider going down that straight at around 200 plus miles per hour. In fact, we're looking at a lunge here on Maverick. I could see that coming. And now we've gone for it, using all of the curve there to get on through on Maverick, but he's not going to let us get through without a contest. Let's try and go around the outside, can we? Not able to get through on the number 12. Look at him spin that rear though. Goodness me. Bit of a block pass on Maverick as he span. Ooh, wheelie. There's the big wheelie. That's pushing us and beyond the limits as we dive into Corinthians again. Oh, Maverick, did he try and go around the outside then? That's not a wise corner to go around the outside there, to be honest. I mean, I don't think I could have even stopped there at that point. I don't know why he decided to cut my nose off there. Maybe I was at fault for that incident, but regardless, I don't think the stewards got involved. So as far as I'm concerned, a bit of a racing nudge. I mean, sure, Marquez is not a shy combatant, is he? He's well enabled and truly capable of getting out the elbows and shoulders during a racing situation. So if there's anyone to go toe-to-toe with, it's certainly Marc Marquez. Now onto the brakes then for turn 1. The 3 Ducatis ahead of us. I'm a little bit concerned about Jorge Martin. He could dash off to the front here or bin it. I've got a feeling this weekend that Jorge Martin might be getting a bit too comfortable. We see this every now and again with Jorge, don't we? He gets to the front, dominates like he did in Mandalika last season. Didn't he do it this year as well in just a race at the weekend? And we, of course, little mistakes coming in. So it is possible, and I don't doubt that Martin is capable of making those little silly mistakes. So we'll see what happens for this weekend here in Mugello. But I can't help to think it, because I've heard too many comments now about Jorge Martin's championship to lose. Jorge Martin's got this one in the bag. We're only like 7 rounds in, whatever rounds it is we're on now. There's so much time remaining for this season that Jorge Martin is definitely not a shoo-in for the championship. I mean, cast your minds back to a few years ago. Aleix Espargaro, I just cut the corner there and I completely messed it up. Messed my commentary up as well. But Aleix Espargaro was leading the World Championship, and he even led it for a couple of races, and we weren't sitting there talking about him being the guaranteed favourite for the championship. And I know that Jorge Martin is on another level at the minute and he looks fantastic, but he did get beaten in Catalunya by his biggest rival, Pecco Bagnaia. So you have to think that there's way more parity this year for riders to be battling it out for the championship till the very conclusion. I know a lot of people have been asking me about Marc Marquez. Is he a championship protagonist? Is he a favourite of the MotoGP championship? For me, I don't think so yet, but I need to see him beat Marc Marquez. Excuse me, I can't beat himself, can he? At least he did with the Honda. But he needs to beat Martin and Bagnaia same weekend, absolutely stuff it up their nose and show them that he is one of the best riders in MotoGP today, because I still believe, not including the bikes, because of course this is a conversation we keep having, but Martin and Pecco I do feel are a little bit head and shoulders ahead of Marc Marquez at the moment. And Jorge Martin, he's binned it into Borgo San Lorenzo. What's he done? And now he's opened the floodgates for us to have a pop at Enea Bastianini. Can we get through here? Not able. Almost. It's looking a bit like Marquez versus the Ducatis from 2019. Was it 2019? 2020? 2021? Maybe? 21? I can't remember. I've forgotten the year, but it was Dobby versus Petrucci versus Marquez. It was absolutely brilliant. Mine's gone blank. Don't know why I'm forgetting all these prime moments of MotoGP. But yeah, I just want to get back to what I was saying, because I don't want to leave the Marc Marquez fans on read, and they'll be disappointed with my comments about Pecco and Hoy being a little bit better than Marquez at the minute, which I don't think's unfair to say. Marquez has had 4 seasons of disappointment, and each one has been crashes and a change of mentality. It's a different situation now for Marquez. He's got to now just try and focus on riding the best possible way and beating the 2 main protagonists of the championship. And I know what you're thinking. You might think the likes of Fabio Quartararo as well. He's one of the best riders in MotoGP. He is, but he can't show it on the Yamaha. So with Marquez not being able to show it when he's not been here for 4 years, simply means the same thing. You can't be right there in the conversation if you've not had all that speed and experience for the past couple of seasons. He's looking good, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot of time to miss out. Pecco Bagnaia and Martin, 2 years of experience of fighting for the top prize in Premier Class motorcycle racing. You can't just have a couple of seasons off and immediately jump in and go, yeah, actually, I'm ready to fight again. It doesn't work that way. Riders have got to build up the momentum and the confidence. I mean, you can tell with Marquez as well, he's celebrating podiums as if he won. That's a much different Marc Marquez to what I'm used to, but this is a lunge to what Marquez I'm used to from 2019, is to not give an inch if Pecco opens the door. Oh, contact! Yeah, that's classic. Marquez, Pecco making contact. It's getting quite often, that, isn't it? How many times this season have we already seen a ding-dong of a battle? Still, one of my favourite races and battles I'd seen was Aragon 2021, where Pecco and Marc Marquez battled all the way to the end. What was a brilliant race. Absolutely fantastic. Really admired the speed, confidence and sheer temerity and determination from Marquez that day. The Honda, of course, has not been a great bike for a couple of years now, as unfortunately Alex Marquez has now gone down. Alex Marquez, I just mentioned him earlier, having a good weekend. He's jinxed me. What are you doing? Oh wait, I jinxed him. Well, hopefully it's not real, and hopefully this weekend he won't have a race showing just like that. But anyway, on to the power. Can we do what Marquez has not done yet and finish ahead of Pecco Bagnaia for a race victory? Oh, and Enea Bastianini's getting involved. Can we get through? Oh, I got really sucked into the air, then I couldn't move the bike almost. Now into San Donato for turn. Oh, Pecco's gone down! He's binned it! Pecco's dropped the front! He couldn't withstand the pressure from the 8-times world champion, and Pecco's binned it. The Ducati grandstand would roar in disbelief. That's unbelievable. Martin down. Pecco down. Marquez leading from 13th on the grid. It's fitting, isn't it? It does seem quite real. Unbelievable. Well, I'm happy with that choice to start from 13th, I tell you. What a great race it's been so far. 0.7 of a second is the difference. Can Enea Bastianini claw us in, or is that it? Are we going to now disappear to the front, or disappear away with the lead and take over? What is going to happen here? I'm really pleased with how this Ducati feels. I've been doing the guide for Le Mans. I did that, what, yesterday, was it? Yeah, I think it was. And then I did some other races online with just a few of the lads on the Ace Academy serve the other night. And I must confess, I tried the Honda, which felt terrible. Obviously, as you know, as Bastianini closed in here. Oh, Marco Bezzecchi's gone down. He must have gone down in Corintaio as well. Same spot as Alex Marquez, maybe? Oh, and Marco Bezzecchi's out. He's not just crashed, he's out. Bad times for Marco Bezzecchi. I did really want to start talking about how I would expect them both, the VR46 Pertamina Enduro bikes, to do better this weekend. Ducati GP23, GP24, doesn't really matter. As long as you're on a Ducati, you'll have a great weekend here in Mugello, no doubt. Best bikes on the grid by a mile, let's be honest. So I don't doubt that both the two VR40... In fact, you know what? All the Ducatis, that's easy to say. All the GP23s and the GP24s are going to have a cracking weekend here in Mugello. They've done testing, they've done practices, you name it. This is their bread and butter. They're going to have a cracking weekend here. I guess there's absolutely no... I'm not going to say guarantee, actually, because knowing... If I say I guarantee, I imagine that it'll all go heck to a handbasket and we'll have a Yamaha win. In fact, you know what? I guarantee Ducati will have a good weekend this weekend. If somehow Fabio Quartararo or Alex Rins comes through to win, then come back to this video and tell me. I think it's going to be very unlikely, but you never know. It would be absolutely amazing if that happened. And hopefully before the end of the season we do get a Takaki Nakagami victory as well. But you know what? I'm not too hopeful on that one. I think we might have to wait for another lifetime. It does seem that Ayagura now, he's picked up the speed in Moto 2. That he's probably going to be getting a phone call to replace a certain Japanese rider in the Idemitsu Honda Team Asia team. I hope not. I don't think that's a good choice for Ayagura, to be honest. I think he's going to learn on the hardest bike in MotoGP, which is not very good. And I think maybe putting him on something a little bit easier to ride would be a better experience for him. But I think he is Honda contracted, so I don't know what's going to happen with Ayagura, but that's a conversation for another day. What we are needing to discuss now is the fact that we're just going quicker across the line. It's a 1:44.636. After the battles have concluded, there's one man who's taking it with both hands, and that is Marc Marquez. That's a good lap time as well. That's one of my best for a while, actually. I think I did the time trial a couple of months ago, maybe, before my time trial completely glitched. And I was doing a 1:45. So I'm happy to see the progression. Something I neglected to mention as well is I decided to change over to Traction Control 1. I raced online a few nights ago, as I mentioned earlier, and Seiken Meerkat gave me the advice to run Traction Control 1. So I've tried it, and I must confess, it feels really good. Very solid with the motorcycles of MotoGP. Of course, with Moto 3, I only run TCS 1, and Moto 2, TCS is turned off. So it's pretty much the most reduced setting of traction control you can actually use in MotoGP 24. So that is going quite peachy. I'm happy with how this bike feels, and I've got to say, before I do a list in the future, I think the GP23s and 24s have to be considered the best bikes in this game. They feel fantastic. The Honda goes really crazy. I like the KTM. The Aprilia is not too bad either. The Yamaha likes a good old wheelie as well, but the Ducatis, they feel fantastic. So I'm really happy with how this feels here in Mugello. Mugello is one of those circuits I do really like, but I never feel that good. I think MotoGP 23 inspired me to practice and get better at the motorcycle and the track. So I do feel like this is beginning to work out now and make sense for me as we cross the line for yet again another 1:44 lap time. This time it's a 1:44.669. Beautiful stuff from Marc Marquez. Is this predicting the weekend? I don't know when you're watching this video, but if you're watching it afterwards and you know the results, then you're either shaking your head in sheer disbelief that I got it right, or you're shaking your head to say you're way off. Either or, a prediction has been made and a race has been enjoyed by many. I hope you guys are enjoying this one. If you are, don't forget to subscribe. And of course, like the video as well. It helps push the algorithm with the YouTubes. Ooh, running it deep there to Casanova. Is that a track limit warning? It wasn't. I would say that's fair because I can't say that I gained any time there. I probably lost more time than actually just keeping it the same. So I don't think that deserved a track limit warning. So the game went generous on me and it paid off quite nicely because I only can allow one more track limit warning before it's a slap on the wrist. The long lap penalty here is not too bad. You can go in there and only lose around a second. So I'm not too worried if we do get a long lap penalty. It's just the only problem will be if we get this at the latter stage when the soft tyres are going to be really struggling. It's going to make it very difficult and very stressful to make sure that we keep a second advantage ahead of the beast before we dive in to the pits. So we'll see what happens, but anyway, onto the left-hand side, out of the Picine corner. Ooh, the investigation being employed there on the right-hand side of the screen. Morbidelli and Joan Mir had come together somewhere on the circuit. Oh, back in the 145s. That's not good. Oh, Morbidelli, yeah, he's been given the warning. He's had a bit of a clumsy ride this season, hasn't he? He's definitely showing some shades of former Frankie, but it's not come to fruition yet. We're still waiting to see like a good top 5 finish, or dare I say a podium, but I think that could be a little bit too ambitious at this stage of the season. But I do feel towards the latter stage it's going to be very much a Digia situation. Give them more time, give them a chance to use their own setup, and when they feel comfortable and ready, I think Frankie will have some good rides on board the Ducati. That's twice I've done that now in 2 laps. Jumping into Casanova and Sabella. Oh, Maverick's gone down. Oh, wow. I didn't even realise Maverick he was still in the top 3, to be honest. I've not even looked at the podium finishes. Pedro Acosta now up to the top 3. Good to see the number 12. Oh no. Oh, I got track limit warning. All right, keep my eye off the top 8 on the left-hand side of the screen then. Live timings are nothing but distractions, it seems. Gap is down to 0.8 of a second. Pedro Acosta, mentioned him briefly, of course. Finally showing some speed in this one. I think he's back up into the podium positions, but I think the gap to Bastianini is quite large. He looks to be going into Correntaio now, so I don't think he's going to be anywhere near us when the time this race comes to its conclusion. A bit deep there for Bacchine. Bad lap time coming in here, by the way. This is going to be around a mid-145. Oh, massive wheelie. Did you see that? I had a huge wheelie then. I couldn't turn the bike. Wow. I'll tell you what, that's going to make a good thumbnail, though. Did you see the way? Wow. That was intense. The front wheel lifted just so gently that when I turned, the wheel just had nowhere to go. Wow, that felt amazing at the controller, I won't lie. The vibration and the way of impacting the front tyre to the concrete is incredible. That was scary. I can't believe that. Well, that's the difference, I guess, when you get a bit eager on the acceleration coming out of Bacchine on the run down to San Donato. We don't mess that up now into Casanova. Good stuff. Not many laps left in this one, you know. And the pressure is surmounting here. Can Enea Bastianini do the absolute ultimate for Ducati? What a way it would be for him to stomp his authority of being a factory Ducati rider this weekend. To come in, outlast the other Ducatis crashing, and even beat Marc Marquez, who is desperate for the factory seat. We'll see what happens as we now dive into Correntaio. This is turn 12, and this will be only 4 more laps after this one. It's all going to kick off. Oh, Acosta's gone down. I didn't mean kick off like that. Oh, and if it could get any worse, Taka Nakagami's been given a track limit warning. Oh, shocking. You know, you have to weigh up the balance in life, don't you? Acosta crashing out is obviously a major negative, and Taka getting a track limit warning is a double negative. Shocking. 2 horrible moments there in one corner. Across the line. Back into the lower echelon of the 145s. That's not going to cut it. I think he's going to catch us. And maybe gambled a bit too much with the soft option. It felt really good. But now we're getting to that middle point. It is beginning to suffer. And what I mean by middle point is referring to the graphic in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. When it reaches that 50% degradation, that's when you really notice the bike's drop off in performance and grip with the Michelin soft tyres. In fact, all the tyres. It doesn't even have to be soft. That's how you feel it. And I'm feeling it now with 0.2 of a second remaining in the sense of the delta. I think we're going backwards here. We can't find more time. Oh, we almost did, actually. Still 0.2 on the delta. That's what I'm sort of keeping an eye on right now. I'm not going to try and stress too much on Bastianini's time. I just want to focus on me getting back into the 144s. That'll give me a bit more confidence, and I'll be able to keep focusing in on the... Oh, no, run it deep. Now run it deep for Scarpa here. Back in the left-hand side. Keep it tight. Steady on the power here. Oh, I still wheelied. Didn't even heed my own advice. Correntaio it is then. Past the Ducati grandstands. They're going to be loving this. Everybody loves Marc Marquez, and of course, if you're Italian, you love the Ducatis. So this is an absolute perfect weekend for millions. Can Marquez get it done? Oh, on the curb. Close, but we're still there. What a race this has been so far. I've thoroughly enjoyed this one. I certainly hope you guys have as well. We could be witnessing the first Marc Marquez victory on board the Ducati. Can it be done? It's going to happen. I'm determined now. And of course, since I'm playing as Marquez, I'll be absolutely sending it if Bastianini gets through. Hard on the brakes at the Brembo sign. Keep it together, Marc. Only a couple more laps to go. And he will be graced his first victory since 2022, if I'm not mistaken, or 2021, as a matter of fact, it could be. It's been a long, long time since Marc Marquez stood on the top step of a podium. Can it come to its conclusion here today in the virtual form? They once said Marc Marquez could win on any motorcycle. They now say Marc Marquez needs a GP24. You guys make your mind up. I'll make my mind up. I think he can do it with the GP23 here in MotoGP 24. And in fact, this lap time's coming together. Aleix Espargaro's gone down now. Don't know where he's gone. But for us, we're focusing on nothing but the victory. And as I've got quicker, it looks like Bastianini's staying with me. Maverick somehow found himself back in the podium now. I mean, Aleix Espargaro was putting all that pressure on from behind, wasn't he? To make Raul Fernandez crash, Pedro crash, and who else was it? Was Pecco Bagnaia crash? Yeah, apparently Aleix Espargaro has mind control devices on his RSGP. He forces riders in front of him to crash. He did it today. He's done it to himself. Apparently so, at least. But anyway, out of Biondetti 2, we are now 2 laps away from winning here in Mugello. What a situation it would be. What a story. What a chance for the social media pages on Instagram to praise the 8 times world champion. It would be amazing. It would be absolutely unbelievable. Look at that. Back into the 44s. Yeah, this is it. This is the point now. If we get into the 144s again, I don't think Bastianini can fight us again. I'm on the limit now, though. The front tyre, especially on the right-hand side, is feeling very, very flimsy. I'm beginning to use even more and more front brake now for those right-handers, just to sort of compensate the loose grip feeling. I'm happy with the decision of the soft tyres. I don't know if we would have been able to get through on everyone quick enough with the mediums or the hards. I actually recommended the hard-medium combination. I would have used that in MotoGP 23, but this is a different beast. This is Marc Marquez's best chance of a 25-point victory in a weekend. 0.8 of a second is the gap to the beast. Surely not. Surely he's not going to deter us from a victory. And millions of the Marquez fans are all in awe right now. Can he do it? 0.5 a second is the gap. I'm losing 0.5 a second on my time as well, so this puts me back into 145s. Not what I envisioned, nor what I wanted. 0.4. I'm just waiting to see a little bit of a factory Ducati just appear at the bottom of the screen. Of course, Enea Bastianini unceremoniously dumped from the Ducati team, it does seem. I hope he moves to Aprilia and absolutely dominates. It'd be, honestly, that would be brilliant. If he went to Aprilia with a bee in his bonnet and decided to just absolutely dominate, that would be unbelievable. It would be wild. Across the line then, 0.2 of a second is the gap. Who's it going to be to finish on the top step of the podium? Will it be Marc? Will it be Enea? 0.4 of a second is the gap. Briefly gone up to 0.5 a second. Leaning into Luco for turn 2. Back into the right hander for Poggio Secco. Gap is still close. 0.5. I think we've done him, you know. We've got some good speed here into Sector 1. I don't think we're going to be deterred. Of course, I've just realised I'm actually going to miss Mugello's weekend, race weekend this weekend. I'm going to be commentating with EMRA in the East Midlands Racing Association, so I'm not even going to have a chance to watch it till later on. I'll probably be quiet on Instagram and social medias and YouTube and Discord. I don't think I'll be reached, so I'll watch it all later. Please, no spoilers. No one send me spoilers. I'll be gutted. Oh my god, the gap is down to 0.1 of a second. I got distracted. Keep it together, Marc. 0.2 of a second. I also can't flummox this now by getting a track limit warning, because there's no chance for me to do it now. Here we go. into current tyre, one of the most trickiest corners when your front tyre is disappearing into the tight apex. Oh, here he comes! I seen a wheel. I seen the red of a factory Ducati. Is it going to happen? Ride device on. Hit the brakes hard and go for that tight line. Keep it in tight. Keep the door shut. Don't let someone like Lorenzo beat you again, Marquez. You've had it happen to you before. Wait for the bike to straighten up. Hit the ride device and charge across the finish line. The ride device not even engaged. Oh, but we did it. What a victory. Marc Marquez takes his first win in Ducati's colours here in their back garden as well. What a race. What a victory. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I hope you guys did too. If you did, let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know your predictions, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.